Hello and welcome back to another video. I am so glad you're here. On this channel, I talk about news, controversies, and drama on the bookish side of the internet, and I certainly hope you will stick around. Well, here we are again. If you clicked on this video, you already know we're talking about the one and only Britt Andrews. Yet again. And it's fair to say things just continue to get worse for her. If you have no clue what I'm talking about, clear your afternoon because you've got about 5 hours of me yapping on about this whole thing to catch up on. I will link my playlist up above if you wanna, figure out what I'm talking about. So let's start with her personal problem, shall we? One of the several legal battles she's going through right now actually came to a resolution, but not in the way that Britt wanted. Now, this is the lawsuit filed against her by the construction company that she and her husband owe over $48,000 to. And she waited until the day before the pretrial hearing to file a continuance. And oh yeah, she also lied in the document. This is gonna take me perhaps a minute to read because it's handwritten for some reason. And it's kind of hard to read her handwriting. So bear with me. So she wrote this to the Wayne County Court of Common Pleas. It says the plaintiff, Bo Lacey Construction, and she is the defendant. And yes, motion for continuance. I, Brittany Anderson, respectfully request a continuance for the pretrial hearing currently scheduled for July 24th, 2025 at 9 a.m. in the above referenced case. I do not have legal representation at this time and am doing my best to manage this case on my own, but have not had time to secure representation. I previously retained an attorney, but that firm pursued a litigation strategy that did not reflect my personal values or wishes. I've since ended that relationship, and I'm working to handle the matter directly and in good faith. My soon-to-be ex-husband and I are in the middle of starting a dissolution. I have moved out of the marital home, and he will be out by the end of the month. Our plan is to list the home for sale immediately thereafter. The lien that is the subject of this case will be resolved in full through the proceeds of that sale. It was never my intention to pursue litigation. I have reached out to the plaintiff's attorney to communicate all of this information and seek resolution without involving the court further. As of today, I have not received a response. I respectfully request a short continuance to allow time for either this direct communication and potential settlement to take place or to officially acquire legal representation. Thank you for your time and consideration. So a couple of things with this. Again, this was filed at 2:49 p.m. the day before the hearing. And she says that she hasn't had time to retain legal representation, and yet we've seen evidence that her lawyers dumped her because she didn't pay them. So unless she retained and then fired another lawyer in the past 2 months, her personal values and wishes had nothing to do with why she doesn't have representation, unless her personal value is that she doesn't think you should pay people for services rendered. And just as a reminder, here's the motion where her lawyers requested to withdraw as counsel. So this was filed back on March 19th, and it says, the Court of Common Pleas in this case, it gives all that information. Motion for leave to withdraw as counsel. Pursuant to Ohio Rule of Professional Conduct, Attorney Rachel Robinson and Dowsett Co. LPA respectfully move the court to withdraw as counsel for defendants Brittany A. Anderson and Michelle Anderson in the above referenced matter. Good cause exists to grant this motion as demonstrated in the attached memorandum in support. If you want to see all of the documents, I will link it up above so you can see for yourself if you want to, but I did already read the whole thing to you, so go look at it. So another place where she's bending the truth, or she's telling the truth now and was not telling the truth in the past, is that she and her soon-to-be ex-husband are starting a dissolution. Well, that's not what she said in her group chat last month, or what she said a few months ago. And it's really funny that she says she's reached out to the company's lawyers to try to resolve the issue without litigation, when they said the opposite, and that, she was ignoring them and obviously not paying because that is what the case is about for months. But I'll let you decide who to believe. But the continuance was not granted. Filed on July 24th of this year at 7:39 a.m., this matter comes before the court on the motion of defendant Brittany Anderson for a continuance of the pretrial, which is scheduled for July 24th, 2025. Upon consideration thereof, the court finds said motion not well taken. It is accordingly ordered that the defendant's motion for continuance is overruled. Now, full disclosure, I'm not a lawyer. I know, you're shocked. And unfortunately, the person that I asked lawyer questions to, my dad, is not living anymore. So I'm not claiming to know 100% what I'm talking about. But I feel confident saying that the house has been foreclosed on and that the lien on the property for $46,800 is secured. And that is what is owed to this company. So this document says, this is the judgment entry. This matter came before the court upon plaintiff Bo Lacey Construction's motion for summary judgment, which was filed on July 22nd, 2025. The motion is granted, and then it kind of says what she owes, $46,800. This one is saying they don't have any rights to the real estate, and it's foreclosed. The amount due on the judgment above is secured by the lien described, and that is a valid lien on the real estate. All of this other stuff that I don't understand. If you are a lawyer and feel like explaining it, by all means, but I think that's what I think that is correct. So, and the official certificate of judgment, in case number blah, 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 titled Bo Lacey Construction versus Brittany Anderson in the amount of $46,800 plus accrued interest of $0 with interest at the rate of 8% per annum from July 24th, 2025, and court costs accrued. So, yeah, that's really bad news for Britt. And it's honestly amusing how Britt thought she'd just sell the house herself, considering the liens on it. She's just like, oh, we'll sell this house and then I'll give him the money that I owe. I'm not a homeowner, so there's a chance I'm not understanding this correctly. But even if I am, it's still not looking good for Britt. So on to the whole Kickstarter front. Now, there's a whole lot of nothing to report. And so while we have 2 updates, which of course I will show you, they actually both don't say anything that matters, but nevertheless, I am here to report, so let's do it. On July 25th, this is the update she posted. We are so close. Hi everyone, I meant to post this update yesterday. Thank you for your patience with me. I've been soaking up some much needed family time before the school year kicks off. It's been a full and slightly chaotic few days, but I'm excited for the return of routine and actually knowing what day of the week it is. Once school is back in session, I'll finally have a more predictable schedule. Yay, which means faster progress and more consistent updates coming your way. Right now, I'm still deep in edits. The most challenging piece of this book has definitely been the Emerald Lakes crossover. Aligning the timelines and character arcs across series is no small feat, and I'm going through everything with a fine-tooth comb to make sure it's just right. I want it to feel seamless and true for longtime readers, and I promise it's going to be epic. I'm going to continue working hard on getting this ebook into your hands ASAP. I hope you're all having a lovely summer. Try to enjoy it before it's gone. So literally nothing of an update. On her last update on July 10th, she said she was in the very final stages of editing, but now she's still deep in edits. And I know you have to do a few, but why say that then? And this is a reminder that this is part of her update from June 25th. This isn't just a comeback, it's a full send, and next month, I'll be sending every single one of you an ebook. Again, on June 25th. This is her own update. No one made her say next month, but she made the choice to. And so here we are 6 weeks later with vague nothingness. Stop making promises if you can't keep them. I mean, just say, I don't know when it's coming out. It's just very frustrating. But what do you know? Her next scheduled update also came late, but when it finally posted, it was just once again more bullshit, more of the same. Update 27, this was posted on August 14th. Hey everyone, edits are moving along steadily, and I'm making sure each section lines up exactly the way it needs to go, especially with the Emerald Lakes crossover, which has been the trickiest part to get right. This is taking longer than I anticipated because I want to make sure every detail fits perfectly, so when you get the book, it's right. Does that first paragraph not sound like she just took the first paragraph from the other update and said, hey ChatGPT, can you please paraphrase this? Kiddos are back to school next Tuesday, And as I've said before, things will begin to move much faster. I'm looking forward to a more consistent work schedule so I can keep momentum going without as many interruptions. Here is a little line from Rhodes being everyone's favorite grouchy badass monocle-wearing demon. He has such a great character arc across these 2 books, and I can't wait to share the rest of his journey with you all. Fuck you, I hissed, applying enough force to have already killed a human man. Azrael doesn't know what just waltzed into his kingdom. We wear the faces of the exiled, but believe me when I say this. I leaned down, relishing the way his face was turning purple. You're looking at fucking death. That's all. I hope you're all enjoying your summer. Try to take the time to enjoy the moments with your families and friends. Do a cannonball, eat a s'more or 5, have a margarita. Life is too short not to soak in every spark of happiness you can find. Thanks for hanging in there with me. The finish line is in sight. You literally gave them no choice but to hang in there with you, but okay. So, I joke, but this is infuriating. No apologies, no accountability, just more excuses and toxic positivity. And there's so much of me that doesn't even know what to say anymore. This woman deserves jail time for all the money she's stolen. And then the way that she continues to gaslight her former fans just makes me want to scream. These are good people. These are people who wanted to support an author that they love. This is a betrayal and it's a scam, and I hate this for everyone that's been a part of this. So popping back a little bit, this was posted in her group back in early July. Someone's asking for updates about Demons of Port Black Kickstarter, the update from 6/25/25. I can't remember my login from back when I ordered, so it won't let me see it. It says post is for backers only. It says that the book is done and in formatting. She is starting to create the items and decide on the art needed. Someone else, I get the updates in my email and read them from there. Maybe you got an email and can read it from there. Someone said I'll forward it to you. Book is done, it's off to the editors, other rewards are incoming, and she will be sending out the ebook to the Kickstarters once it's ready. I'm not trying to start anything, but I'm really confused after reading the comments on the Kickstarter page. Many people are saying the book was written by AI and backers are not getting the quality of items they paid for. A lot of people have asked for a refund and say that Britt has refused and accused them of harassment. Honestly, I have been very disappointed in this Kickstarter. We've waited 2 years for this book. I've checked my emails and haven't received any updates from Britt. The updates on Kickstarter are pretty vague. What's the full story? Someone replies, if you go to the featured section of the group, she has 2 different posts which explain what happened and how to get a refund. Except, thank you. She's not giving refunds for the Kickstarter at this point, though. Refunds are for the other type of purchases. And someone says, yeah, but I still haven't gotten my hardcover refunds. This person says, I can personally vouch that she wrote the book, no AI. Thank you, I was kind of thrown for a loop when I read that. And then this person says, out of curiosity, how do you know this? How do you know this? Like, I'm not accusing her of it, but how could this person claim to actually know? Because Britt said it? Because she's not, exactly the most reliable narrator. You aren't alone. I haven't received any emails. I'm lucky that I only purchased the ebook, so I'm only out less than $10. At this point, I don't even want to read the book when it arrives. I understand making sure you are in a good place mentally and physically, but the communication is lacking. I'm not mad, just disappointed. I am both mad and disappointed. She also stated she isn't receiving or allowing comments on any platforms for her own mental health, including the Kickstarter. Who can I contact to make sure the correct address is there when they ship? It will not allow me to see or change anything on Kickstarter. I've already went through this with one publisher. Trust me, we couldn't find a way unless it was direct contract. Since I pledged immediately, and it's been years, I have since moved. I want to make sure Britt has updated info, and then someone says she has an email set up on whatever. I did the pre-order and haven't received any email updates. I still have my pre-order confirmation email, but I haven't gotten any other updates. So, I mean, I feel like a broken record at this point, but there's just nothing but silence from Britt. And anytime people start questioning things, PA/best friend/cousin Kayleigh shuts it down immediately. So these next screenshots are from her private chat group, and I don't have the exact date on all of them, but I saved them all to my phone on August 1st, so whenever it was before then. And while I have, of course, read through these, you're getting my raw reaction here. So, Anyone seen a response regarding the Jot form refunds? I submitted mine end of May, emailed 6/20, and haven't seen anything yet. Last I've seen, she's still not reading comments/socials. She's going through each issue one at a time and most likely has the book back from her editor by now, so going through rewrites and trying to parent 3 kids on summer vacation. You have to be patient. While I'm sure Britt must appreciate your defense of her, my frustration should also be understandable. I've been attempting contact in some fashion more regularly since the beginning of the year, and I don't feel as though I'm being impatient or unreasonable. I understand I don't really have any other options but to continue waiting. Another person, I have no horse in this race, but seeing all this silence has turned me away from purchasing from her. Patience is one thing, but silence for months is downright uncalled for. Another person so kindly said, forget the books, is she okay? Can someone confirm? Several people on Threads posted the screenshot of the latest update. It showed her saying she was fine, but busy with her kids for the summer. Okay, good, thank you. Someone else said, this is so sweet. I think sometimes we forget that authors are humans, and with all the challenges we all face. Emerald Lakes was a wonderful series. Writing takes time. I'll wait for what comes next. I think sometimes authors forget that readers are human and that they also have things they would like to spend their money on. If they're not going to get this book they paid for, then maybe you should give it back because they might have bills to pay and they wanted to do something special for themselves, buy themselves this book, this, whole collection, and now they have neither. So I have been in contact with both her and her previous PAs since the end of 2023. Some of us have been more than patient and understanding. I have even been told twice now that the refund would be sent and still waiting. Look, I get it's frustrating, but she's been transparent as possible about her life, even if it doesn't happen at the speed you want it to happen at. But like the rest of us trying to get through this life, she's doing the best she can with the hand she's been dealt. Like 90% of her problems are of her own making, just so we're clear. I can only hope that if I were in her position that I'd be afforded the opportunity to get everything done, even if it isn't in as timely a fashion as someone else would like. Yeah, even if it's not in 2 years. Latest Kickstarter, and then somebody posted the update that I just read you. We all deal with our own issues, but how we deal with them is on us. At this point, it seems like you are talking down to those who are frustrated for good reason. They have a right to be frustrated, especially when she promised refunds and communication. As I said, I have no horse in this race, but I will forever defend those that have justifiable reason. And as will I. Every last person she owes a single cent to has justifiable reason. I agree with the person defending her. Britt is doing the best she can. Sometimes we, myself included, forget that authors have lives too, other jobs, family, etc. Family comes first, as it should. She will honor what she says she will. You will get either a refund or the ordered book. It just takes time. She isn't like other authors that will cheat you. Trust me on that. I've had it happen several times by other authors. I was able to get my book in person at a book convention. I've met her twice. She's a really nice person and will not cheat you. I feel like I've said this on this channel before, but half of my brain thinks in like musical theater quotes. And this is giving me big, like, Little Red Riding Hood from Into the Woods, the quote, nice is different than good. I have no doubt that she's very nice in person. That doesn't mean she's a good person. You also shouldn't declare that a refund will be processed within 7 to 10 business days and then not follow up on that 2 months later. I get that she has a lot of personal stuff going on in her life, but I ordered these books back in 2023 and kept getting emails saying they were coming before all communication stopped. It's frustrating for us when we don't get responses. Wow, 2023, that makes me rethink this author big time. That is unacceptable. Like, Britt is not the only one with problems. And I know I just did a musical theater reference, but we're gonna do one more from Dreamgirls, Effie, We All Got Pain. That's what I always think about when someone's like, well, you need to give her more grace because she really has so much going on and her life is so hard. And I'm like, Effie, we all got pain. Like, we all got shit going on. Like, I don't even know what to say. Yep, same. Did you order books for GWIW2, which was one of her signings? I don't think she went to that one, but no, Rare 2023. I'm probably going to get kicked out for this, but honestly, ladies, you're annoyed with Britt because she hasn't finished a book. She's writing the book, and then y'all annoyed that she isn't responding to messages. She has said a number of times she is a one-woman show. She has already said that she is back writing, refund/no refunds, only time will tell. Give her a minute for her to do what she has said she will do. Literally, if I didn't know that Britt was broke, I would think she was paying these people. Perhaps don't promise something if you don't follow through, though. Quit invalidating these readers. They have every right to be upset. They do. We're not invalidating anyone, and recognize their frustrations and empathize, but we are reiterating the reasons Britt herself has given for delays. You, however, act as if one independent author should operate as if she has a whole major publishing house behind her. I don't know how to explain to these people that all bets are off when you have people's money. If she wants to act and sell products like she is a major publishing house, then she needs to give that back to the people. If she wants to take that much money from people and make all these big promises, then she needs to deliver on it. She can't do all of that and then just be like, oh, I'm just a girl, I can't do it all on my own. Like, no, that's not how this works. If you want to act like you own this whole like empire of authordom, then you have to deliver on your promises. Like, this is just, I don't know why we're having this conversation. Well, I guess I'm having it with myself, but for Rare, she's experienced delays and print issues from the publisher, which she's been super upfront about. And now she has to go through each order and make sure the people actually still want the books or have requested refunds, which can lengthen the process of getting them out, on top of other commitments she's been upfront about. Writing and rewriting the upcoming Port Black sequel, being a present parent, sister, daughter, and friend, navigating life as a newly divorced mom of 3, and having had to deal with some pretty toxic people in her personal and professional lives. Nobody told her to buy a restaurant, just so we're clear. That was not like a requirement for her. She did that. And you, addressing the person disagreeing, act as if these are not things we should also be empathetic about. There are people, human beings on both sides of this equation. I get that. I'm not making excuses, really. Just asking people who have also been reading the updates to remember she is as on top of this as she can be, as well as on top of the rest of her life. Going back to Rare 2023, she was not the only author that had issues with publishers screwing up formatting, arriving completely wrong or completely damaged, or even arriving at all. I can't remember if it's R.L. Calder or Luna Pierce, but one of them had a whole order of books for Rare 2023 that hasn't arrived to this day. I'm pretty sure a dark witch put a hex on the whole darn convention. Every author I know that was signed on to attend has had issues before, during, and after the con. Just saying. Just to refresh your memory, this was the convention in 2023 where she had been like on some sort of tour in Europe doing events and stuff, and then she was scheduled to attend this and just decided that she wanted to go home with her kids instead of going to this convention in, I think, London. I know it was in the UK, and she just didn't go, even though people were going just to see her from all different parts of the UK. She decided like last minute, like, I'd rather go home to my kids.
Hi, editing Laura here. I just wanted to clarify that, like, I'm not saying that as to imply that, like, she's not allowed to, like, go home and miss her kids. Like, of course she is. I just think it's really important to honor commitments that you make. And, like, if she had scheduled several events in Europe back to back, like, she would know that she would miss her kids and want some time off to come home. So unless something unexpected came up, which I feel like she would say if it had, she should honor her commitments, and she didn't. So that's why I'm kind of being sassy about it, not because I think she's like not within her rights to miss her children and want to go spend time with them. Okay, bye.
I'm pretty sure the other authors that said they were going to be there, even if their books were missing, still showed up, which to me makes a big difference. Wow, blocked. LMAO, my message was not allowed by admins. As far as I can tell, everyone has been patient. Want to know something? I'm an author myself. The day my baby passed was the same day my husband left me and my book released. Know what I did? I sent out everything I was supposed to, and then I took a break. There is right and there is wrong. And that's a situation where I feel like people would be like, take a break, take a break. Do you know when people aren't like that? When you buy a restaurant, even though you have obligations that are unfulfilled. You are invalidating these readers. Every time someone comes on here, all you do is be patient, she'll do it. It burns my butt seeing that this money was stolen from these people. Didn't Britt literally just say she was going to be more active? That was and has been a lie. The refunds, also a lie. If it wasn't, why still be silent? Why promise 7 to 10 days? I don't know about you, but I don't promise something and not keep it. I read A Hunt So Wicked and loved it and came here to share enthusiasm because even as an author, I still enjoy reading. As you should. All authors should also read. However, the more I am here and see the damage that has been done, I get the major ick. Back to this girl. Everyone deals with trauma differently. Just because you were able to work through it does not mean everyone can. So the fact she had to take time to deal with it does not make it wrong. She was very upfront about what happened to her when she didn't need to be. I also get mad coming into this group because half the time it is a lot of people bashing Britt in it. Yes, it has been a while for the second book, but she is wanting it to be perfect for her readers. I know authors who take far longer to get books out, but Britt is trying her best with the cards she was dealt. Again, broken record over here, but just give people back their money. She can make this all go away if she just refunds people who want to be refunded. And as she insisted that none of that money was used for anything it wasn't supposed to be, it should be there ready to give back to people, right? This little minion says, the only thing I'm seeing is that you need therapy. If you're that concerned, message Britt herself and send a letter to the Better Business Bureau of your choice because your lack of empathy is making you look bad. There's trauma under there that you still need to deal with, babes, and I suggest you take care of that before throwing stones at other people's glass houses. I don't think that's that phrase, but okay. I'm sorry that happened to you, but you need time to heal instead of attacking us for reminding people that we need to extend everyone grace because we don't know what's happening in their lives behind the scenes. Also, to have the immediate message not allowed pop up, you must have been using some choice language. And the good guy says, I'm not attacking. I'm upset at the lack of communication with her. Why contact her if she's not even talking to her fan base? I don't need therapy. Thanks, though. I've done my time for that. Therapy's great, though. I have tons of empathy. There's a Kickstarter I backed for Annette Marie, and she's had a very awful wreck that gave her a concussion. She's been pretty radio silent, and it's awful for what happened to her. I can empathize, but 2 years? I've seen the YouTube videos, and I've seen what others are saying. I like to think I'm at least one of those. I genuinely loved Britt's work, but after seeing all this, watching those countless videos, I can't make myself follow this author anymore. BBB is for businesses, and she isn't labeled as one. I've seen everyone getting the Attorney General involved, so maybe I can send a letter there then. It wasn't something I thought about before. The same person that's just up her butt, she sends out regular updates. There's been plenty of communication, and you're demonstrably lacking in empathy here. So I'd be remiss if I didn't suggest it. While I agree in regards to the Kickstarter, the communication regarding pre-orders has been few and far between. I have screenshots going back almost 2 years of communications with her PAs at the time and direct promises from her she would refund before she ever even offered refunds in the online form. Not all of us are jumping on the complaint train without reason. I can't speak for everyone, but I have my own personal situations and have relayed my grace and understanding and condolences to her on many occasions. Not everyone is some heartless, money-hungry monster. Yeah, someone in this situation is, but it's not her. People are allowed to have limits and express them as well as their disappointment. And then someone quoted where the other girl was talking about how people at Rare also had issues with the publishers delivering on time and all of that. I bet the authors you named refunded or sent the books in a timely manner. 2 years is too long to tell people to just be patient and give her grace because life, etc., etc. Life has happened, and based on what she has shared, it appears it has been, and that is terrible, and I feel for her. And she is a business owner that has promised these people things for 2 years, and that holds a host of negative connotations. They are allowed to be frustrated. And here's someone's kind of story about that. I ordered for Rare London 2023. It was London. And when she dropped out, I paid the extra to still receive my pre-ordered book. I was in contact with all the PAs and was told we are waiting on one book, and then it was, oh, I'm sure they have been sent out. I then got radio silence from messages and emails. Then we started getting updates about the Kickstarter, and I was happy for everyone who backed that, but not much of an update for people who had pre-ordered already published books ordered for events. Now, 2 years later, I opted for a refund on the Jot form as she said 7 to 10 days, and guess what? Still nothing. Now, I have never said anything bad or dismissive. I even think I have been extremely understanding for everything Britt has gone through. However, I paid for my published book and never received them, and enough is enough. My mind literally can't comprehend how people are still defending her. Like, I literally cannot process this. I understand with the Kickstarter, there was never an end date, and this was made extremely clear, but for people who pre-ordered books for events and are still waiting 2 years later with very little communication, I don't believe that is fair. Another person says, I went through something similar. I ordered a book from her at the Getting Witchy With It convention in 2023. I too was told it was on back order, then it wasn't good condition, then told I'd be refunded, then radio silence. I finally sent one more email saying that I was going to be at the convention again and expected either my book or the refund that day. I did get my book, however, I never got my money for the shipping. I too felt the same way as many of you did. Britt's PA had my book ready when she saw me coming up to her table. You are right though, it isn't fair to wait years for something that your hard-earned money paid for without receiving what you paid for. I suggest seeing which convention she'll be attending close to you. She's not attending conventions. Show her the order form, emails as proof, and only buy her or any author's books either on Amazon or in person. I did have a mostly happy ending with Britt, but did not with 3 other authors previously. I'm in the UK, so probably won't ever be able to see her. I just like my refund, as at this point I feel like it's theft. She's had my money for 2 years and not provided goods or shown evidence of these damaged books she said she received. I just feel like this has been going on for too long with no outcome, and she keeps honing updates on Kickstarter, but not really any... I don't know. I don't have the rest of that screenshot. I'm really trying to keep my mouth shut about all of this, save to discuss with IRL friends, for my own peace, but I think I just found my line in the sand. I think it's really inappropriate for you to basically insinuate / say that this person has mental health problems and unresolved trauma. You're asking for empathy for Britt's trauma, and in the same breath trying to use someone else's trauma against them. That's pretty gross. I'm sorry that happened, and I would offer to speak to her, but this year I'm unable to attend the convention in my state. I know how you feel because I have been cheated by several authors, but Britt came through for me in the end. Like I said in a previous post though, life happens. Some things no one can control, publishers, etc. I can see both points of view, but I personally hope that her readers won't hold this against her. She truly is doing the best that she can with what she can control. Maybe instead of sending an email that will be lost in the many, send her a handwritten letter. Send her a handwritten letter. That'll do it. That'll work. If you think about it, she's probably receiving thousands of emails a day. On top of her other business, on top of raising her kids, the poor woman probably gets very little time for herself. Cry me a goddamn river. If I were her, I'd be handling one thing at a time, then moving on to the next, especially emails. Britt may also not be on here as much because social media and the words that people can say hurt and be draining. I myself was off of Facebook for many years since it hurt my mental health. I'm not saying that is another excuse for not receiving your books or refund, just trying to make both sides see all the points. No one would be talking badly about her if she didn't do all of this. Like, again, she is the reason people have bad things to say about her. So to like avoid it now just feels like no. Remember that we that are on here are here because we love one or more of her books or series. That's the only reason why I posted here. No matter where we live in the world, no matter our life situations, we are here because we love books and the worlds they bring to us too. To all the negative words said on here, not one specific person, I've seen others post things as I think of my answer. Think about it. How would you feel in another person's shoes? Words hurt. It's okay to have an opinion, feelings. Just be respectful of the author and fellow fans. I can't put myself in her shoes because I would never do this to people. And I don't think most people would. So it's very hard to say, yeah, I would want them to extend empathy to me if I scammed them out of $100,000, because I would never do that. So then our friend / PA / cousin / best friend Kayleigh says, hi, I just thought I'd drop in and let you guys know more refunds were processed today. Britt has been working her way through the form in the order the requests were received. If you've not received a refund and filled out the form, it's coming. Britt sends her love. How nice of her. Now, I really want to know who got refunded. Like, I have no proof that this didn't happen, but Britt owes money to so many people that there is a non-zero chance that she didn't actually refund anyone, and she's just relying on the fact that there's so many people, you know, she owes money to, that... like, they'll just not talk to each other. This is my first and last post in this group. I used to love reading the posts on here, but it's all gotten so negative and hostile. I think admins should have a long think about what this group was made for and whether it is still fulfilling its purpose or just becoming an author bashing ground. Not saying whether it's deserved or not deserved. That's not what I came for. So off I'll pop to find another group that's actually what it set out to be. Wishing everyone the best of luck in whatever is bothering them, and sure it'll all come out in the wash. Sounds like most of you are talking about the Kickstarter campaign, and I've asked and not been answered on the anniversary of the Emerald Lake series. I've asked multiple times and nothing. I've seen Britt respond on here, so I know she's active. I would like an answer. When are these books coming out? My order was placed on 5/26/24 for $200, and there has been no communication at all. That's not good. And this person replies, I wish I could tell you that an answer was coming, but I don't know if there will be. I really don't. It seems like the only time there is ever action is when she is under outside pressure, and a lot of outside pressure at that. I don't pretend to know what goes on in her day-to-day, and I quite frankly cannot extend much more grace and patience. The Jotform refunds, which excluded the Kickstarter, were told 7 to 10 business days, and it has been so much longer than 7 to 10 business days. So why say 7 to 10 business days if you cannot... I guess I missed the rest of this one. I cobble these together from screenshots people send me. So sometimes things get missed, but I try my best and I make sure everything is within the same context. I'm not trying to like put them in the wrong order or whatever to like twist someone's words around. Hopefully you know that. Hey lovely, Britt has said in one of her posts on Facebook that these editions have not been made yet, which is why it's baffling people that money hasn't been refunded. I normally don't say a word as I don't want to be kicked out of the group by admins. Someone did say in a post the books were done and in storage, but Britt herself has said they don't exist yet, which was odd to people who bought them because of the way they were advertised to us. None of us want to bash her, but we also do deserve some answers from Britt to what is going on. It's our money. There are normal orders missing on books that are already written, and they have been missing for years. Everyone thinks the Kickstarter people are demanding the book to be written, but from what I see, it's way deeper than that. It's not just about writing or writer's block, it's everything else. The ghosting, the lack of communication, the blocking of people who ask questions while I do that. It doesn't make sense. If it was me and I saw all these people taking to social media begging for their money back, I would be refunding it. People have been patient. They have given years of grace as well, and it's got to the point people are angry, and with good reason too. People have books missing from Rare 2023, and they are not special editions. How is that okay? You have people speaking out and opening up about their mental health problems and how they are struggling financially and have money tied up in things that could really help them out. So Britt, I truly wish you would refund people and let the ones who still adore you support you, and I'm sure it will go a long way to redeeming yourself in the public eye. I'm on Threads, I see book drama daily, and the people always put out a statement and try to solve things for their readers because readers are the people who make authors successful. Some of the people commenting on the Kickstarter really need their money back. Why would Britt want to continue to give her work to people who do not want it? Surely she would want to give it to people who still support her and not rip it to bits on social media. Kayleigh, lovely, speak with Britt and ask her to do something, because the way I see it, it's going to get so much worse, and Britt is so bloody talented. She could really turn this around by showing grace to her backers and other customers from over the years that people are missing orders. And this one is another girl that's very pro-Brit. These orders from 2023 are from Kickstarter, which is a platform for unfinished products. Kickstarter projects don't guarantee refunds. It's to the discretion of the creator to give those refunds. Sometimes it takes time for unfinished projects to get finished. She's kept everyone more regularly updated this year on the project. She's promising refunds she doesn't actually have to promise, so it may take some time. If you don't like the premise around Kickstarter, then don't purchase from Kickstarter. Wait for a finished product. Kickstarter projects sometimes can take years, and that's the downfall, but the point of ordering from Kickstarter is you believe in the creator. I think some people don't do enough research on how Kickstarter works before ordering. And someone quotes this and says, this is actually inaccurate. As one of the people above mentioned, they're waiting for a refund for an event that the books didn't show up in 2023. And she also didn't show up. That is completely separate from the Kickstarter situation. Also, the special edition release of Emerald Lakes that never materialized. Someone also replied to this and said, this is not just the Kickstarter. Have you not seen that others are waiting on books from events and non-special editions from her shop? It's like literally she didn't read any of the previous messages. That was meant to be a reply to blank who started talking about refunding Kickstarter right above my comment. I thought it was a reply. No, there are orders missing prior to the Kickstarter long before that came about, and I think that's what people are getting at. This is also what's happening, she names the person, Instead of reading the whole message and the reason why people are asking questions, you come across as rude. Not once was I mean in that message. I also do not know you, but you felt the need to blast me. This is why people keep quiet. And she comes back and says, most of your messages about Kickstarter. In regards to Kickstarter, there are no promised refunds. This is not blasting you. I'm replying to a message in here, like most are doing, and like you were doing in the message I replied to. The other projects they say is promised refund from her store. Yeah, she should fulfill that. This is what I'm getting at, but blank wants to blast me when I was asking a question and actually being nice and supportive to Britt as well. Everyone has the right to comment and not have someone not even bother to read the message in full. This is why I stopped commenting in her group and keep quiet, as this is a kind of behavior that seems to be okay and allowed. And this same person, girl, you're taking something as a slight at you, which was not. And she said, the first half of my message is nothing to do with Kickstarter. It's about unfulfilled orders of regular books that are missing, and it goes back to 2023. Kickstarter was the other half, so your comments were unnecessary. I'm not replying anymore. Try reading the full message and actually see that I was supporting Britt, even though she has had my money for non-Kickstarter things for well over a year. And she replies, it was reply to your message, which was heavily about Kickstarter, with a generalized statement about how Kickstarter is as a platform. Nowhere was it meant to be an attack on you or blasting you. I see that when you get irritated and post the simple facts, the admins block your posts. That's sad. That speaks volumes right there. And for what it's worth, Britt and one other person are the only admins in this group. So odds are, Britt is seeing at least some of these messages, and yet she doesn't feel like she needs to respond or do anything to help the situation. So, as I've said time and time again, this would all be over if she just refunded people. In update number 24, she said tumblers and keychains have been delivered. So where are they? Show us. Like, if she had any of this stuff, I firmly believe that it would be in her best interest to show it to her backers. And she knows that. Now again, like I said in the last video about her tattoo, I'm not saying that she's like not allowed to have a single bit of fun ever, but it is so rage-inducing to see Britt out having a beer on a boat when she owes people $100,000. So let's take a look at some of the comments she's had on her Kickstarter page recently. No one wants teasers anymore. Share actual updates on timeline of the book. You keep saying the same thing every update, which is no real progress. This campaign is a waste of time and effort. We ain't going to get refunds or the book, etc. We get some shitty ebook and that's it. I will keep saying this like many others. I want a refund. Pull up, or even better, put on your big girl pants and just own up to this shitty fest, shirty fest, and do refunds. Still nothing from you, Britt. More and more people are getting fed up and wanting answers. The fact that you have lied to the Ohio AG on top of all this is mind-blowing. How is there anyone left supporting you? Do you ever feel like you're screaming into the void? Because that's what this is. Yes. Britt, babe, your update is almost a week late. I know you've been busy having fun on holiday, but a commitment's a commitment. Hell, you could have even given us a brief update letting us know the full update would be late. You're really not inspiring us with confidence that this book is actually coming, or that you wrote the whole thing, but that's a whole other issue. Weren't we all supposed to have been sent an ebook by now? From her own words? Yes, you were. All I'm saying is that we've gotten more Kickstarter app updates than we have from Britt Andrews. I liked that one. Still no update? This one gives the same amount of answers as your others. Absolutely nothing. Give me my money. Hey, Kayleigh, babe. Can you tell your Lord and Savior that I want a refund? If you have the money still, why is it so hard for you to say, I'm sorry I messed up and everyone who wants a refund is justified? But you want to hold on to the one sentence that says you don't have to do refunds and it's bullshit. It shows your shitty ass character. Not only do you owe us for this Kickstarter, but you owe people for your completed series. Jot forms you had people fill out to do refunds and you didn't, because you're a liar. Honestly, go fuck yourself, you selfish scammer. How dare you take advantage of the people who got you here? Fuck you, Britt. Now, I can't see every comment on every post because I'm not a backer, but I feel like I'm starting to see like more and more different names posting angry comments, which implies that more and more people are seeing the situation for what it is, which is amazing. Because it is way past time that people stop giving her the benefit of the doubt and hold her accountable. That's all I've got for you today on Britt Andrews. But hey, let's talk about an indie author who won't steal your money and run. Today I'm featuring Kayleigh Dobbs, a horror author who runs a book review blog and also has a YouTube channel, which I will link for you. While she loves promoting other authors' work, she can be hard on herself. It's hard to promote your own work. So I'm here to help her writing reach more people. Her book, The End, is a micro collection of apocalypse-themed horror and horror/comedy stories. It was shortlisted for an Imagine Award in 2023, and it might be small, but it's mighty. Down in the description is a link to Kayleigh's social media, along where you can purchase her book if it sounds like something you'd enjoy. And of course, check out her YouTube channel. Indie authors are a vital part of the bookish community, so make sure to show your support wherever you can, even if that just means a follow on social media, or subscribe to her YouTube. If you'd like to be featured as one of my indie authors that I spotlight, I have a form linked in the description. So if you did like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more just like it, make sure you are subscribed. I do also have a Patreon if you are interested in supporting me over there, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!